You may have heard a story or experienced it personally where a real estate agent acts rather unprofessionally, but it's not very often they brag about lying on their own personal blog. And that's just the first story I want to talk about this week. I thought up until yesterday, CMHC announcing that they're going to announce a forecast where they're saying Canadian real estate prices are going to decline 10 to 15%. Well, I thought that was going to be the biggest story of the week, but sometimes the real estate gods just drop a story into your lap. My name's Matthew. That was Matilda. She's running around here somewhere. It's October 7th. This is the Bald Prairie Real Estate, Canadian Real Estate Weekly News Recap. Let's get you into a terrible joke and then get you into the news. What is a geologist's favorite genre of music? Rock. If you have a terrible joke that I can use in a future episode, put it in the comments below. If you love learning about real estate, like this video and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Okay, we're going to start off this week with a topic that makes my blood boil. It frustrates the heck out of me. It's a real estate agent admitting in their own personal blog, and this is a very prominent Toronto real estate agent, that they lied to other agents to gain leverage over their competition. I'm going to read this little segment from their blog and let me know in the comments what you think of this behavior. Last month, I had a listing that I did not think was going to do very well. Market conditions aside, it was in a building that had a spotty track record and the units weren't exactly flying off the shelves. After 4 days, I only had one showing. But as often the case in this crazy world of real estate, that one showing turned into an offer. The offer was well under the list price, as I knew it would be, but it was still only 4 days on the market. This listing was still relatively new. So then, with tough market conditions and a tough listing, did I jump at the offer? No. I used my leverage. I told the buyer's agent, we're barely 4 days on the market. I've had a slew of showings. 3 agents have called and asked for a copy of the condominium status certificate. 2 have told me they think they're going to write an offer by the weekend. Then I acted in self-interest. Plus, I want to have an open house this weekend. I want to get my signs and my name out there. Why would I sell this before I can do that? Of course, that is not true. I don't do open houses personally, although my team does. But when you specifically act self-interested, the agent on the other end of the conversation has a lot less to work with. You can call this playing poker if you want. And yes, I was gambling. I was bluffing. Wow. I don't even know where to start on this other than this is unacceptable. This agent has admitted to not being truthful with other agents in order to gain leverage in their mind over that agent. This is the type of behavior that gives real estate agents a bad reputation and has the public not trusting real estate agents, and rightfully so when they act like this. It's unacceptable. I've experienced this in my own business where I know the agent on the other end is not being truthful with me, and it's extremely frustrating. It's not the way I'm going to conduct my business. It's not the way that real estate should be done, and yet it is still happening, and it's unacceptable. This individual, I would be very surprised if RECO, that's the regulator for Ontario real estate, doesn't want to have a chat with them, and I sure hope they do. Okay, let's settle down, talk about something a little bit more fun. How about the fact that last quarter, Canada saw a huge surge in its population, the biggest population increase since 1957. That was right in the middle of the baby boom after World War II. Last quarter, nearly 300,000 new Canadians decided to call Canada home. And it wasn't many years ago that 300,000 new Canadians in an entire year was a very strong year. To have that happen in one quarter, that's a massive surge. A little foreshadowing for a topic I'm going to talk about in just a second. That's a big part of what's driving the demand for rent and rent increases in Canada right now. The next report I want to talk about here is from the Parliamentary Budget Office, and they talked about how much Canadians can afford to spend versus the gap of how much they have to spend to buy a house in Canada. In 2015, that gap was 2%. 2019, it was 20%. 2021, it was 45%. And today, it's 67%. This is a huge problem in Canada. That is the unaffordability of houses right now. And of course, with higher interest rates, it's making this problem even worse. That's why we saw the gap from 45 to 67%. Even though house prices have declined in many areas of Canada, the increase of interest rates has offset that significantly and made it worse. Okay, next topic here, and I thought this was going to be the biggest topic of the week, and that is all the news right now talking about how CMHC is forecasting the Canadian real estate market is going to see prices decline between 10 and 15%. But actually what CMHC did was make an announcement that they're going to announce in the future, and sometime in October here, they're going to have a forecast out for the Canadian real estate market or they project that's what they're going to say. So that announcement to announce what they're going to maybe say. We'll have to wait for a couple of weeks here till that report is out. Those of you that have been watching me for a while know that I've kind of beat up on CMHC in the past on some of the bad forecasts they have made and then stuck to those bad forecasts well past when it was pretty obvious that those were wrong. When this comes out, I'll be sure to talk about it in that week's update. The next topic here is some Canadian mortgage trends. They're looking at where population moves within Canada, and specifically how many people have left Ontario to go to other provinces in Canada, predominantly looking for more affordable housing options or looking for better employment opportunities. Last year, nearly 100,000 people left Ontario and went to other provinces in Canada. This year already, it's over 50,000. The majority of which actually end up in Alberta. About 25% of those end up there. Now, that's not unique to this year. Actually, that is fairly common. Most of the time, those that leave Ontario, a large percentage will end up in Alberta. They're looking for those more affordable housing options, which is why they're looking there. Saskatchewan and the Maritimes as well. This doesn't surprise me, especially with the rise of remote work opportunities. Those in Ontario can move to a much more affordable place, again, like Alberta or Saskatchewan, and still work at their job remotely and have that lower cost of living. I don't see this trend reversing. I think this is going to continue for quite a while in Canada. The last topic for this week's update, I foreshadowed earlier the cost of rent in Canada. This is from the Daily Hive. The 4 most expensive cities to rent in Canada are all in BC. In fact, they're all in the greater Vancouver area. Starting off, number 1, that is West Vancouver. It is $2,800. Vancouver itself, $2,600. North Van was $2,500, and Burnaby at number 4 was $2,400. That's for a 1-bedroom, unfurnished apartment. That is crazy how expensive rent is in Canada right now, and especially in the greater Vancouver area. That's a wrap for this week. My monthly Canadian real estate market update will be out in just a couple of days. If it's already out by the time you're watching it, you can check that out right here. If not, that'll be September's update. As always, guys, thanks very much for watching.